Someone wanted me to talk about the power of words. Lesson 1, don't screw up the first sentence of a video. Lesson 2, did you know they're powerful? Yes, obviously. The person that wrote that did. But maybe there's some people that don't. Well, what do you think's coming out of your mouth right now? Just remember the old saying from some guy I don't remember, but he said that when you say chariot, a chariot comes out of your mouth. Doesn't it? When I said chariot, you thought of a marionette. No, you thought of chariot, and then you thought of a marionette if you knew what that was. You probably don't, do you? Because you're not cultured. Educate yourself. Isn't that the most grating phrase you've ever heard? Some piece of crap 20-year-old with dyed hair and those really cunty Vilma glasses from Scooby-Doo. Hello? Okay, I have. Have you ever read a book in your life? I read Dr. Seuss before I realized he was problematic. But the power of words stems from the fact that whatever you are saying, you are putting images into someone else's mind. When I did that, you think of a camera. So, when you put that image in someone's mind, because that's really what is happening when you are talking, when you are speaking, you are trying to get pretty much a movie into someone's head. So the more visually you speak, usually the better off you are. Also, if you use interesting language, these are all just byproducts of the same point, which is, just remember that if you say chariot, fucking chariot enters. How many have we done so far? This is like a circus maxima around your mind. And we're on to the 6th one now, at a huge disadvantage because the first one was mentioned a minute ago. Why would you have that race? Especially if your life depended on it. Jeff. But another point that I would like to make about the power of words is that they are all emotionally charged. Every word has some little jolt to it. Some of those jolts are negatively charged and some are positively charged, if I may use a field that I know nothing about, which is physics? Does electricity go into physics? Or is it chemistry? Is that a chemical? I honestly am that dumb. Well, I didn't take it, all right? I finished in year 7 after they did the whole, right, this is a test tube. Time for year 8, this is a Bunsen burner. Don't touch that. And then I was out. One of the key points that I would like to make about the power of words is that when you say these things and these images are conjured in people's minds, the next thing that flares off is some emotional response. Now, you are never going to know how those words are associated in the mind of the other person. They might have a negative or a positive association. That is up to their life experiences. But you can hazard a guess. I don't want you to think about your language this much because then it will suck. As I'm constantly saying, when you are at a party, you're supposed to just say the first thing that flows to the top of your head, and then that gives everybody the permission to go, and then you get into those stupid trance talks. It's essentially just one back from talking in tongues in one of those churches in Southern America, right? What happens when you do that and you put off those emotional charges is, first off, if it's a positive charge, they're going to link that positively to whoever's around them and whoever made that link to them. That's obviously what's going to happen. But the second thing that it does is that, and this is how brainwashing works, this is why I'm so reticent and I hate using any political themes at all. Like, as soon as I hear left, communist, Nazi, right wing, any of those words, I first off think uneducated idiot, and second, I think you're just a tool of the propaganda. You are a tool of the propaganda. I did this in my previous stand-up show, which, by the way, my new one's out now. I had to put extra shows on. Thank you very much. And if you want to get red-pilled, oh my God, this one will be like watching The Matrix 2. That's how deep it is, okay? Yeah. Yeah, and also there's 2 dreadlock twins that I just have standing on either side that say nothing the entire show. And at the end, they break my neck. It's a tour de force. But when those things are happening, when those words are going off, say that you say left, what is going on in the other person's head? If their mum taught them that left wing means good, then they go, oh, apparently, a fellow traveller, hey, have you heard of bread tube? And then, if they don't, then they immediately switch off and think, fucking lefty scum. That's why I hate using those words, because you have immediately segregated a section of the population by saying that they are politicized words, charged words. It's another reason why, even though I'm terrible at it because I'm just basically like Leonardo DiCaprio in the sense that, like, I just sit around all day and do absolutely nothing in my millionaire lifestyle, but I'm really, really scared of not being able to breathe oxygen. So I'm terrified of climate change, obviously, so I keep using the term, but I try to eliminate it as much as possible because, again, for terrible reasons, it has become a politicized word. So as soon as you say it, 30% of the population is going to detest you. And it is the same with all of those other words. That's why you avoid using them. That's why you get more precise with your language, because the more precise you are, the more undeniability you create. The more you are putting a spear into that fog that is the other person's reality. You have it as well, so do I. You just have a concept of how the world exists, and the way that you get through that is by being as precise as you possibly can. Sink! Except when it comes to self-help, then you be really broad. Because in self-help, really, what are you trying to do? What is this entire channel doing? All it is doing is conjuring up a positive emotional state. So you sign up to Jordan Shanks to give me money, obviously. But the second one is so you come to the conclusion that, oh, okay, these general ideas of getting up early in the morning, which I don't follow, but, you know, reading a lot, exercising, these things you are starting to get positively associated to. And then subconsciously, if you keep doing it, you will just normally move to these things anyway, because you have somebody in your ear all the time being like, hey kids, you know what's hip? The barbell. Put down the cowbell, that's old news. Unless it's weighted, then you can use it and go on some light jogs, and it'll be extremely annoying hearing ding-a, 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 but it's still worth it because it's better than play school. I don't know why I finished on play school. I mean, obviously, seeing my target demographic is 20-year-olds, definitely. You just grow up, kids, all right? Grow up. Go watch some fucking Saturday Disney tapes, all right? But yes, so it is getting negatively associated in our terms. Similarly, and this is a theory that I've started to see through recently, you are getting exclusive access to this, by the way. And if you think this is a red pill, you really should come and see my show. I'm going to put links in the description. We've had to put on extended shows. Did I already say that? Yeah, I've probably said all of that already. Sorry, it's just my booking manager keeps saying, like, make sure to tell them that they've got an extra show on that we need to fill now. Probably should have done that months before instead of going, oh, yeah, we're just doing that. But I'm telling you, though, everybody really loves this one, especially me. But, right, we'll go back and move on to the point, which is probably a good idea. Those words that you are saying, when they are vague, you're building a sort of negative or positive association, meaning that you're moving people towards it or you're moving away from it. What has happened recently is, you know how the press, and I'm going to be talking about this a lot on Friendly Geordies, the press recently, and I thought, okay, it's just like that 80s replay of Bob Hawke v. Paul King, Bob Hawke getting rid of Malcolm Fraser because they fucked the economy so much that the elite class thought they need to go. We need to put in an actual government to navigate us through the points that we are in now, right? Like the terrible situation that Australia finds itself in. How wrong I was. What has happened is that the press have obviously realised Scott Morrison is a dud. His name is dirt to the Australian public. Okay, we'll ride on him, we'll attack him, and we'll move all of the public's hatred onto this one sacrificial lamb so that the rest of the Liberal Party brand is still positively associated as, oh yeah, they were great, strong economic managers. It's just they had the one cunt in the entire party. He rose to power somehow. Even though we knew exactly how, we never mentioned it during the last election. No one else in the Liberal Party is self-serving except Scott Morrison. They're running that because they know that he's a losing horse. And so they're just moving all of it they can onto it. Now, this is the thing that I always thought, the Australian public, obviously, this just does not work. The whole, racism, sexism, these charged words, which, by the way, I talk more about in depth in my stand-up show. I go into the depth and history of these words. But as I'm saying in other episodes, like when I talk about, say, communist, and then that kind of just meant they're politically dead, or in Hollywood, their career is dead. It was a way of just saying, I don't like this person, he is isolated from the rest of the community, and here's your justification for why. But it was really just code word for this person, go after this person. That's what's happened to Scott Morrison. All of a sudden, when the press have realised that he is no longer serving their master's purpose, he's a racist, he's sexist, he's homophobic. And I never thought about this because they always did it to me. I've seen them do it to countless other people throughout the time. It's just, they did it to the opposition leader in New South Wales as well. When they decide that someone is racist and sexist, I always thought that that was a smear to try and create outrage against the Australian public. But the Australian public doesn't give a fuck, right? They're just like, dude, you're an idiot. Shut the fuck up. It's annoying. You know why it's specifically annoying? It's because it's a code word amongst themselves, amongst their own little elite class. They need a justification. Like they do in my stand-up show for killing Julius Caesar. But they need a moral justification for why they've turned. And so why not choose something nebulous? These kinds of words, these politically charged words like racist, sexist, these things, that are very, whatever the fuck you want it to mean, it just means that. You just dump it on there, but it has a negative association. But everybody in that circle knows that it's code word for this man is a marked man. Right? That's what's happening to Scott Morrison now. And as a result, I feel sorry for him, and I'll be voting for him this election. JK! But I don't think I need to say that, all right? Okay, I'm joking. I don't want to see all these dickheads on Reddit. Oh, this is the friend that did his changed his vote. I always knew he was secretly right-wing. See, these are all just little code words amongst circles of people. These very nebulous words are code words amongst these cliques to say this person is not in the clique. But they can't describe why, but they put that word on it. That's why I'm always saying, you want to make your language as precise as possible. Failing that, you want to at least give it some flavour. I'm going to sprinkle some of that sauce on it. Yeah? Those are your two things that I think that you should be focusing towards. I think that, honestly, people are going to be a lot more engaged in what you say if you just stick to those two basic principles. And also understand that when other people are using foggy language like this, there is an underlying meaning to it. There's an underlying emotion that they're trying to attach to you. And I think the best way to look at it is, what is the purpose of that emotion? Why are they trying to put that emotion on that person / you? You like that? Make sure you sign up to Jordan Shanks. You're going to love that if you do, because I will be giving you all of my saltiest... Is that an internet word? Is that something nebulous that you like? No, that's not a good thing. Fuck you kids, change the goalpost, don't you? I want you to sign up to it regardless, because I think that it is an extremely cheap investment, and if you do, you will be getting back out of it 1,000-fold. 1,000-fold you investing in it. I have proof of this now. People have come up to me and said, I am a millionaire because of Jordan Shanks. So, if you want to be a millionaire, give me the price of a cup of coffee, or don't, whatever. Just come see my show regardless.